sages compared pregnancy to a tapasya, a sacred spiritual discipline. How can modern mothers embrace pregnancy not as a medical event, but as a sacred journey for inner transformation and awareness?
Yes, this Garbha Samskar, the Sushumna Garbha Samskar is all about this only. Actually, it is not a medical event. Medical event is only a small part of the total event which is happening.
Entire process.
A whole entire process. So the couple, they should understand that they are not forming a body. It's not a body which is being formed there. They are nurturing a soul. They are helping a soul to blossom. And they are helping a soul to develop, to blossom in a overall way. So everything is, they're nurturing a soul that should be well incorporated into every couple or every parent to be before they start the journey and during they start this journey. So only it is called tapasya. See, what is tapasya? Tapasya is nothing but concentrating, focusing on a single point is tapasya.
A discipline that we can adhere to.
Yeah, that is tapas. To focus on a single point is tapas. And here, yes, definitely is a tapas, because what is your focus here? You should be aware, you should be focused. Your focus is
the well-being of the child.
It's just not well-being of a child. You are blossoming, you're nurturing a soul. That should be your
primary goal.
And if they do it like that, then the whole thing falls in place. So definitely it is a tapasya, but not the tapas as we know, just sitting, closing our eyes and sitting. No, it's a karmic tapas that you have to do something, through some work you're doing. So they should become karma yogis at that time.
The Garbha Upanishad says that the kind of family a soul is born into depends on its past karma and the parents' karmic vibrations. How do parents' actions, choices, and energies attract a certain kind of soul into their lives?
Yes, definitely. See, your karmic actions. For every action, there is a result. There is no action without a result, isn't it? So whatever you do, and when we say whatever you do, thought is the center for everything. So your thoughts, your actions, your words, everything has some result. And this result, in turn, it affects your energies. Like, for example, see, you are unable to control your emotions and you just start venting out. Then what is your output at that time? Like, let us take a profession, even if it is a software profession. So you work as a team. And then as a team leader, if you're unable to control your emotions, balance your emotions, be in a positive emotional state, and with disturbed thing, if you try to give some instructions to the team, how will the team receive those instructions? And then at the end of the day, what is the output from your team? So the result of your emotion is the result of your team here. When you come to a professional work, I think you got my point.
Yes.
So this is what is karmic result. So you have done a work, but the work is not just speaking. Yes, you might have given them the proper instructions, but the way you have given them the instructions, what was their emotional quotient when you are giving those instructions, it definitely changes how the team receives your instructions. And how the team receives the instructions, that is the way the output of the team comes out. So that means it is your karmic result. So every work, it has a result. And the work, it is influenced, as I've said, by the emotions, by our thought process, by our psychological strength. It has an effect on the outcome of the work. So here, this is directly affecting your energy vibration. So when you are emotionally disturbed, when you're stressed, when you're anxious, the vibrations of your energy body decline, they come down. If that is your daily routine, then what type of energy soul do you attract as your baby?
Like attracts like, actually.
So what is your vibration? it directly matches with the vibration of the soul, which is entering into your womb. So this is how your karmic. So when you say the past karmas, definitely past karmas do have an influence on our present state of mind. So if you can increase your cosmic energy levels in your energy body, then the past karmic influence, now that can either totally be negated or it decreases to a larger extent. And the present state of mind will take over your emotion, psychology, and your output. So that is how this too happens.
You said raising a conscious generation. If Garbha Samskar is about creating not just a healthy baby, but an awakened soul, how can parents continue the sacred education after birth through stories, values, mindful parenting to raise a generation that is conscious, empathetic, and wise?
What you have asked, this comes under parenting. So it starts before conception, carries through conception, and then it continues after the baby has taken birth also. So as I've said, the Sushumna Kriya Yoga practice, the introspection, and the positive lifestyles, the Omkara chants, they'll start from the preconception stage, they're carried throughout conception, and then after the baby is born, the parents, they have to keep practicing Sushumna Kriya Yoga and the Om chants in the vicinity of the baby. Because when we practice Sushumna Kriya Yoga or when we chant Om, so it should be chanted in a louder way. Not louder doesn't mean in a bang way, but the sound has to come out. So wherever the sound has dispersed, all that field will vibrate with the sound energies from that Om chant.
It's energized.
It vibrates with the same energy of the Om chant. And also when you're practicing Sushumna Kriya Yoga also, the cosmic energies which you're drawing during this practice, now they spread to a larger area. So the parents, they have to practice Sushumna Kriya Yoga as well as Om chants in the vicinity of the newborn baby. So that passively, the baby absorbs these energies and it benefits from those chants and the thing. Then once the baby is 3 years of age, where if the baby can chant Om, the parent should try to teach them the chant of Om. They don't need to teach many chants or mantras or anything. Just Om chant is more than sufficient for them. So they can introduce this chant of chanting Om whenever their baby is ready. So it can start, some of them a little quick, they can start at 3 or maybe 5 or something, but it should be started at the earliest when their baby can pick up. So the Om chant has to be started. And again, when the baby is able to hold the hands in Yoga Mudra, because Sushumna Kriya Yoga is practiced in a particular mudra called the Yoga Mudra. So when their baby is ready to hold their fingers in Yoga Mudra, then they have to start explaining to the baby, making the baby chant Om in this mudra. Now, a second one is clubbed here. And then afterwards, when the baby is ready, like maybe 5 years or from 7 years of age, the whole practice of Sushumna Kriya, they can teach their baby to practice Sushumna Kriya along with them. So everything, it should be, if it is a family time, not father doing time, mother doing some time, asking the child, you do, not to. Sit with the children. All of you together, if you do, there will be a cumulative effect in it again.
Like a meal time, you designate a time for the spiritual practice.
Yes, this they can practice. And at the same time, the mother, whenever the mother is feeding, from day 1 also, or day 0, whenever she is feeding her baby, her thoughts should be positive. Yeah, she may be having some discomfort because just recently, a few hours back, she has given birth to the baby. So her body may be undergoing through a lot of discomfort and things. But then, see, mother is an epitome of sacrifice.
And I think the practice also gives the energy to the mother.
Definitely. It gives the mother whatever strength it needs, it gives. And regular practice of Sushumna Kriya, actually, it increases the threshold of pain.
Yes.
So likewise, you'll be able to tolerate pain better than those who have not practiced Sushumna Kriya Yoga. But then when she's feeding the child, she should feed it with a positive thought. And the thought that through this feed, what she's giving, the baby is getting the divine energies. So there's a continuous flow of divine energies into the baby. And then if they have started this in the preparatory phase only, that is maybe 6 months before or even earlier, 12 months, 1 year or 1.5 years before. As I've said, the earlier they start, the better will be the result. So what happens is all these lifestyles which we have been telling, practice of Sushumna, Omkara, positive thinking and positive emotions, to hold positive emotions, all this, it become a part and parcel of them. Every day, they don't need to remind themselves that they have to be in positive thinking, that they have to be in positive. No, because they have been practicing Sushumna Kriya Yoga and introspection. Now, these together will place them in a positive thinking. Every day, every session, it's not every day, every session of Sushumna Kriya Yoga will take you one step ahead.
Yes.
So it becomes a part and parcel for them. And now what happens? The environment they are creating, it becomes a wonderful positive environment for the child where the child is thriving. And that is how they're giving, through nutrition, the mother is supporting, through their thoughts, both the parents, through their thoughts, through their practices, through their lifestyles, and through the environment which they have created in their home.
Yes.
Again, here, they are helping the baby to have a positive expression of the inherited gene. Again, the science of epigenetics is being applied.
Yes.
So this is how they can actually upkeep the energy levels in the baby, and the optimum energy levels are the ones which help us to be in connect with the superconscious, you tell, or the higher awareness, you tell, or with the supreme, whatever you tell. So these are the practices of the energy levels, cosmic energy levels. Is all. That is what the parents have to do.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking us on this journey right from the Amrit Kar program, which is pre-conception, to how the parents or the couple must change their energies, realign themselves, then positively plan a healthy pregnancy, keep their thoughts in check, and move on once the child comes into the world. Thank you so much for sharing all this wisdom. As you were talking, something else came to my mind. We call this podcast Vitaraga Vishyam. Vitaraga Vishyam is a concept from the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Sutra number 1.37, where it talks about Vitaragam means, ragam, as we all know, is attachment. Vitaragam is moving beyond attachment, and Vishyam is any object. So all of us also can be Vitaraga Vishyam in one way by listening to what is happening in our Annamaya Kosha, which is the body, in our Manomaya Kosha, the mind, in the Pranamaya Kosha, and the Vijnanamaya Kosha. And this can happen at every level, even while listening to this podcast. If we are able to listen from a space of non-judgment and without offering solutions, they say even that creates a certain divine space within us where we are able to feel that oneness with the other person because we have created that channel. So maybe this podcast, Vitaraga Vishyam, will enable many listeners to educate themselves in the topic of Garbha Samskar, and they will be able to join this program, which our foundation, Divyababaji Sushumna Kriya Foundation, is offering. Thank you so much, ma'am. Om Sushumna, Mangalam, Nitya Shubha Mangalam.
Thank you, Shruti. Om Sushumna, Mangalam, Nitya Subha Mangalam.